We're live, sugar. Woohoo! We made it. Wonderful. And we've got our famous Moringa Tea. Mmm. Ooh wee. That's got some honey from the backyard. It's got some Moringa powder. It's got some Moringa loose leaf. And it was steeped in a French press for, it was hot. So you take the hot water, you put it in the French press, you add the materials, and then we just stick it right in the fridge from there because it's gonna be hot for like an hour in the fridge even. And so that gives it the time that it needs to heat up and extract those nutrients from the leaves. And then from there, it's cold. And so we have it kind of cold right now. I usually drink it in the afternoon. That's kind of chill and cold. Gandhi, you want to say hi? Gandhi boy wants to say hi. Say hey, Gandhi. Everybody say hi to Gandhi. This is our farm kitty. He's real helpful and he keeps all the little pests away. Yeah. And we just had a beautiful Saturday. We had a beautiful yoga class this morning with Ariel here at Numa Farms. And from 9 to 10 every Saturday morning, we'd love for you to come in, take yoga with us here. We're actually building a yoga deck in the back. And so then we had a tour at 10. I gave a little tour and a talk. We had some visitors come in. And then we all went down to the local farmers market and met up with our farmer friends for about an hour. We all got produce, and we're going to be actually heading back to the farmers market. So you can catch us next Saturday at Passions Organics, organic strawberry, blueberry vegetable farm. It's a wonderful farm, Jim, and we're going to be out there. So if you look up Passions Organic Strawberry Farm, we're going to be at that location next Saturday. We'll have someone at that location, and I'll be here giving tours and talks. I think we're going to start like a permaculture series, like a free permaculture course here. And I'm really glad that you guys are joined with us today. Happy Saturday. Happy Aquarius. New moon, now going into full moon. We're getting into the end of the month. My solar return is coming up in a couple weeks. So now you guys get to see what it's like to be an Aquarius. This is kind of like how I live every day. Just moving, shaking, hustling and bustling and just laser focused. We've got people coming in that are like, Kendrick, don't you want to sell this? And don't you want to grow this? And don't you want to do this and that? And I say, you know what? Right now, my mission and my goal is to make sure that everybody knows about Moringa. And there's not enough people in the world that know about Moringa yet. And so my job isn't done. And it's not going to be done until everybody knows about Moringa because it has changed my life. It has changed my life. For the past 7 years, I have been on this Moringa kick. And it has been absolutely wonderful. Look at me. I'm just full of energy. This Moringa tea, it's got a little bit of the powder at the bottom. Super thick. It also has like nettles in there. It's got dandelion in there. It's got some yerba mate in here, which also is a little bit of a caffeine pickup. But if you want it caffeine free, you don't have to add the yerba mate. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kendrick Henry, your local Moringa farmer and beekeeper. We've got bees, we've got queens coming, we've got bees coming. I just saw Payo. He's going to start helping us out, get more bees out here, more hives out here. So we're really grateful for that. And if you haven't yet, please we have people calling us all the time throughout the week like, hey, how do we learn more about the co-op? We really want to learn more about how to join the co-op. And so if you haven't yet, please download this manual. It's for a limited time, going to be at moringagrowerscoop.org. We're going to be taking this manual off the website so we can do some edits to it. We can update a few things, but it's still got a ton of great information in there that you can still use to help get your Moringa business started and help get your operation going so that way you can start growing Moringa trees in your own backyard for money, for profit. So learn how to grow Moringa like this. With us, we're going to be teaching you. We're going to be bringing you into our processes. If you want to be an herbalist like me, you can actually learn how to grow, harvest, package, and sell Moringa through our co-op program. and membership packet, which is going to be coming out very, very soon for everybody. We're just kind of tightening up everything. We're editing everything. We're making sure everybody agrees with all the wording, lingo, all that stuff. So that way, as a team, as a cooperative, the board of directors is all in tune, in line, which, by the way, we do have now. So we have a board of directors. We've got 5 people now that are on the board. Every week we meet, we talk co-op, specifically what and how we're doing to be able to further our education practice. And awesome. Yes, Shirley is saying it needs to get back to growing them for us. And that's right. Need to get more seeds. Oh, thanks, Shirley. Yes. Wonderful. Yes, we'd love to get that program kicked back up again. You know, we know that it's been wintertime and it's tough to get little seedlings sprouted. But what Shirley has done actually for us is grabbed a tray, grabbed the pots, grabbed the seeds, grabbed the soil, and then took them to her place and started planting the seeds out, started caring for them, started loving for them, started growing them, and then brings them back to us for a return. So we have on paper that we're paying $1 a tree if she brings us in a 6-inch cone pot, or even any tree that she brings in, because I know she's had different sizes also. But we want to get a little bit more regimented with even our co-op members, where we are able to supply them with the materials, and then they can continue to bring back to us every month when, say, we have a meeting, or they just want to stop by and drop off their trees, to give us a whole tray of like 100 trees or at least 50 trees. And they're so easy to grow. Thanks for commenting. Thanks, Shirley, for watching. You're absolutely right. We need more of that. This kind of practice is really advantageous for somebody that doesn't have a backyard. They have a balcony or a small space, maybe like a sunroom, but really wants to be in the co-op, wants to be a producer, wants to be able to make some extra side income. And exactly, she's like, you can't even kill them. Everyone should be growing them. They're so easy to grow. And you just have to plant the seeds, you know? And there's a lot of so-called black thumbs that are watching right now. All you need to do is scrub a little harder, and you'll see that green thumb just underneath there, and get your green thumbs going. Because just know that your grandmother, your great-great-grandmother, were farmers. And so you have it in your blood. When I realized what my family was, that there were farmers and tradespeople that worked with trees, like my grandfather, he worked with trees his whole life, and I'm just like, no wonder I love trees. I didn't even know that. Came to find out when I told my grandma that I wanted to be a farmer, and she's like, yeah, that's what grandpa was. And I'm like, what? No way. Like, I didn't even really like know that this was a thing for even my family in the Midwest up in Michigan. But so it's in your bloodline. So just grab a seed, and until you fail, you won't know how to do it right. And so you're going to fail 100 times. You might not get it the first time. You might not get it the 100th time. But don't give up, because all you need to do is get more in line with nature, get back to nature. And you will find that just doing it at the right time of year. You know, some people are saying right now it's December or January. And they're like, you know, they're calling me. They're buying these seeds right now, and they're planting them right now. And they're super engineering, and they're super scientific, and they're super regimented, and they're like, hey, you know, I might want a refund. I only got 20% to germinate. And I said, wait. The only reason why you might only get 20% germinating is because it's the time of year. You know, you got to know when to sprout your seeds and when to get seeds, especially if you're going to be starting a commercial operation. So we usually sprout seeds all year, knowing that we're only going to get a 20 to 30 to a 50% germination rate. But we know that if we wait till March, April, May, especially, we're going to get 100% germination rate, even just off these same seeds. So it's just knowing when and how to plant them, and we're here to help. You know, we're here to let you know that if you're getting a low germination rate and you're planting them in November, December, January, just know that you're going to get 100% germination rate if you do the same exact thing in March. And it's just the nature of the earth, the magnetic frequencies, and the connection that Moringa has with that, knowing that everything's in a dormant state, you know, right now, all over the world in the wintertime. So that's why it might be a little difficult to sprout these right now. But if you have excess seeds like we do, we're still going. I mean, we're still getting seeds popping right now. We've just had, I think, like 300 seeds sprout up last week that we potted up in bigger pots, and we're getting them to the back. And we're working out our relationships between Numa Farms and nursery as an owner member of the co-op. So like I own a piece of the co-op, and so I have the ability to place a vote and steer the co-op in a direction that I may want, along with you, who eventually will become members of the co-op as well. As we get things going, everyone's going to have a voice and a say as full members. And we'll go into how to become a full member. But most importantly, here today, I wanted to share with you how to make money. You know, everyone's asking us how to make some money off this moringa. And we have a lot of opportunities to be able to make some income off of moringa. One way that you can help me make some income from moringa is even just by going to moringagrowerscoop.org, supporting us as much as you can, and get your moringa from a local source, a trusted source from the farmer right here that you know, and place an order. And that will really help us get to that next level and help finish our book and help get the membership packet out there, because that knowing that income is coming in for us allows us to be able to pay for our labor, be able to pay for our insurances, pay for our permitting and licensings, and pay for all the things that's necessary to have and run a farm. Even going to the farmer's market, we have to have all of our things in order to be able to even go to the farmer's market, which I want to teach you as a way to grow moringa in your backyard and then prepare it and sell it at the farmer's market. It's called cottage rural industry, and it's a beautiful thing that Florida, the state of Florida, highly, highly supports. So we'd love for you to get to know how you can start your own moringa business and make an income, a residual income, from growing moringa trees in your own backyard. All right, so you can pick these up at moringagrowerscoop.org. We have a wonderful special right now where you can get a kilo of powder, super fresh. We just harvested this last week, dried it, powdered it, sifted it and powdered it, so it's really nice and fine. I mean, I don't know if you can see how fine and green this is. Look at that. I mean, that is super high quality moringa. You can't get this in the store. I get people calling me all the time like, Kendrick, why did my moringa come in brown? Why does it come in stinking like that? And there's a few reasons why that your moringa, when purchased from someone else, say maybe that's getting their moringa from another country, or maybe that's been sitting on a shelf, they don't have the same care and love that I have for moringa. I'll be honest with you. They don't. They don't do it like we do it. And so that's why you need to get it from us, straight from your local moringa farmer right here, local Tampa Bay, Florida moringa. So we have a special. You get a kilo of powder, you get a kilo of loose leaf, which is 2 of these, and then you also get 2 of these, which would be 1,000 capsules. This is 500 capsules. Yes, someone asked, can you mention some of the top health benefits of taking moringa? Absolutely, and thanks so much for asking. This is really going to help us get along through here so we can answer these questions. Thanks, Shirley. I love that you're here and asking. We need this. So some of the top health benefits, and I can't, I'm not a doctor, I'm an architect, and I can't go in and make claims about what it can do for others. What I can do is I can say what it's done for me and what I know for sure it does every single day. So I suffered from severe irritable bowel syndrome for most of my life. Onset Crohn's disease. It was to the point where I was going to the bathroom maybe once a week. And it really helped to cleanse my liver. It really helped to get the mucus out of my bloodstream. It really helped me to go to the bathroom. And it really gave me the protein, the iron, the potassium, that magnesium, the sulfur, the selenium, all of those things that you need for a healthy bloodstream, a healthy diet, just in a few capsules a day. Even just a teaspoon of powder a day could help provide that for you. But I need to be very careful with these health benefits, because as I'm learning more and more by putting my labels online and getting red flagged for things, because I go in on all the health benefits. What I'll do real quick, actually, is I'll go to my website, and I have on there the top health benefits of moringa. So I'll go to nursery, and I think that it's actually, let me go to Moringa Growers Co-op.org. It's like 3 times the amount of calcium. So, okay, so we got this question today. This is great. You bet, Shirley. I'm gonna hook us up because I want everybody to know the benefits of Moringa too. Let's just go. I'm gonna go to a product in here. I'm just go to moringagrowerscoop.org, and I'm just gonna hit, say, the dried leaf. And I'm gonna see if in here there should be a description of all the health benefits of Moringa. We may have actually just kind of even taken it off because the health benefits are out there. We just want to be also the providers of it. And sometimes when you say things, you have to be very, very careful because of big pharmacy. Sometimes because of the Western medical system, they may not want us saying some of the things that we know Moringa is good for, but we just have to be very careful and make sure we're not crossing those lines. So what I'll do is I'll just go to Numos real quick. I just want to see if it's on here because I know that I have some benefits here, and we've been making changes to the moringagrowerscoop.org website. So let's see, yeah, okay. Some of the benefits should pop up right here in just a second. Okay, here we are, benefits. Okay, just so that I have it in front of me so I know. Okay, so it has gram per gram by comparison. That if I had a pound of chicken, so say this was a chicken leg, and this was 1 pound of chicken, and then we had a pile of Moringa that was also 1 pound, right? And I know this is going to be backwards for you. It's fine. It's just a thing. I'm just trying to compare so that way when you have 1 pound of chicken and 1 pound of Moringa, you got to have the same amount. This is kind of like what they say in the medical field is that with 1 pound of chicken and a pound of Moringa compared to gram per gram by comparison, or say if you had a pound of bananas or a pound of oranges or a pound of spinach or a pound of milk or a pound of carrots, this is what the comparison would be. So if you had a pound of bananas, Moringa would have 3 times the potassium of bananas. So if you had a pound of bananas and a pound of Moringa, it'd have 3 times the potassium as bananas. If you had a pound of oranges and a pound of Moringa, it would have 7 times the vitamin C as oranges. If you had a pound of spinach and a pound of Moringa, it would have 25 times the amount of iron. I'll just use this. It'll have 25 times the amount of iron as spinach. If you had a pound of milk and a pound of Moringa, it would have 4 times the calcium of milk. If you had a pound of carrots and a pound of Moringa, you'd have 4 times the amount of vitamin A and E and antioxidants as you would, say, in carrots. There's 46 different types of antioxidants. There's 36 different types of anti-inflammatories. There's also omegas 3s, 6s, 9s. It's got alpha, beta, B's, all different B's, C's, D, E, K, folic acid. It doesn't have, it says it has micro amounts of B12. I know B12 is very controversial in that people say that you can only get B12 from animals. I feel as though our body has the ability to create B12 from other minerals as long as we're chemicals. It's like chickens. How do they keep popping out eggs that constantly are full of calcium when they don't even really eat that much calcium? It's because they're actually taking the potassium and all the other chemicals that they eat in the bugs and the grubs and the worms and the soil, and they're able to create calcium in their body just by the food that they eat from the chemical reaction in their body. It's the same thing with us. We can help create these types of things that we need when our body is fully healthy and has everything that it needs. It can create and chemically transmute other chemicals into other things that we don't have. Other minerals like calcium, chloride, chromium, copper, fluorine, iron, especially iron. So tons of iron. If it's green, it's got iron, baby. Look at that. Green. Yes, that's why they call me the Hulk. It's got manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, salts, very good salts. That's why I love Moringa. Helps with all the salts. Salts really just help everything, just your nervous system, everything. Not to mention, it has all 9 essential amino acids, making this a complete source of protein. So what does that mean? It means that there's 9 amino acids out there that our bodies do not create from those chemical reactions, and that we need those 9 in order for us to make the other 9 and the other chemicals and the other things that our body makes, like I was just saying. So Moringa has the 9 essential amino acids already in place. If this is grown in good soil and it's grown organically and it has everything that it needs and it's a mature tree and the roots haven't been touched in several years and it's got a deep tap root, and it's going to be pulling up all those things out of the ground, and it's going to have a complete 9 amino acid makeup from the 9 that we don't normally get from other foods, and also that we don't normally get from making it in our body. And it also has the other 9 that are non-essential, that our bodies can also kind of create using other chemical reactions and things like that. So not only does it have the 9 that our bodies don't make, but it also has the 9 that our bodies do make. So it has all 18 amino acids. Amazing. And then it also has additional amino acids, other benefits. It's high in chlorophyll, high in carotenoids, flavonoids, omegas, plant sterols, polyphenols, luteins, xanthins, ruteins, and more. So those were all things on our website that Moringa and the benefits for. So thanks, Shirley, for asking, and I'm really glad that I was able to find that for you real quick. So that's why we love Moringa. I fasted actually for 30 days on Moringa alone, Moringa and water. I used, in the first week, I was eating a bowl of Moringa greens for dinner. And I was drinking water, drinking tea. But then after the first week, I realized, I really want to take this fast a lot further than I was originally thinking. I was just going to do maybe, like a week just eating Moringa greens. But I wanted to take it even further. So after that first week, I said, you know what, I'm going to stop eating the greens and I'm just going to consume the tea. And so I went full 30 days, pretty much not really eating anything else other than sucking on little roots and stems, just grabbing some branches and sucking on them, brushing my teeth with like sticks and stuff, which has, softwood stuff that has minerals and iron and things like that. Potassium, especially because my muscles were twitching every night because I was low on potassium. So I'd go out and I'd chew on roots and stuff that would have, and suck on the roots, which would have potassium, and then the muscle spasms would go away. Potassium helps to build muscles. That's what's found in bananas and also in Moringa. And that's why when we take Moringa, we feel super strong. I'm always like, so much energy with Moringa. I'm also like that naturally. My mom was like, get this kid out of here. Go outside and play. Get outside. Because I was just bouncing off the walls my whole childhood. I had tons of energy. Even to this day, I still really only need to sleep like 4 or 5, sometimes 6 hours if it's good. I mean, with Ariel, she's been helping me sleep more, get more rest, and that's why I have even more energy for everybody that's been asking questions and wondering, how do you do it, Kendrick? How are you doing all these things? And I say, well, because I'm making sure that I take care of myself with Moringa. So, let's get into how to make money from Moringa by growing it in your backyard. Because that's really what we want to talk about, because in the Moringa Growers Co-op, the main goal for everyone is to get down into an owner level. We want everyone to get to an owner level of the co-op. And to get to the owner level, we want to teach you a few things. Because everyone on the team I need to duplicate myself on the team. Like I need you to get into my head and learn everything that you can about Moringa over the next year. I need you to just focus on Moringa. I need you to focus on on the seeds. I need you to focus on the trees. I need you to focus on how to get your tree to a nice bush, so that way we can create a nice high quality product out of it. So we're going to get everyone in the co-op through membership. We're going to teach everyone through training. This is what I talked about last week. If you didn't see this one, go back to last week's video. It's a great video on how we're going to be moving everyone through into ownership. And the best way to get through ownership is to start growing moringa in your backyard as fast as you can and as many trees as you can. So let's see if I can just kind of get us going here. Okay. I know it's kind of rough. It's okay. It's okay. Because I really want to teach you, I really want to teach you how to grow moringa trees in your backyard. And we want to get everybody to learn how they can make some income from growing moringa in their backyard. So let's just say we have a plot. And this is a standard size plot. There's many different ways to grow moringa. And these are all the different ways that people ask us if they can grow moringa. They can grow moringa intense. Intense. So you want to have it really close together, like every 6 inches. You can just have kind of like a raised up bed of moringa, like you would grow lettuce, or how you would grow beets or carrots or turnips. You can grow moringa that exact same way. It actually has a tuber that forms. It's called the horseradish tree. Moringa is called the horseradish tree because it forms this little tuber inside the soil. It's like a carrot, actually. And then sometimes if you chop this back, you know, it'll re-sprout. But then if you chop it back and want to use the greens for food, you could eat the greens for food. But then you've got 2 separate products here. You've got greens and then you've got the roots. And so there's 2 separate products here that you can make by growing it intense. So by growing it intense, you'll have microgreens, and then you'll also have tubers, root tubers. Okay? So you have microgreens and you'll have root tubers for that. Okay, so let me show you maybe an example of intense. So maybe if this is the house here, show this, this will be the house. Okay, so we've got a side yard, a backyard. Let's just say this is the driveway here. Okay, maybe there's a garage or something. Okay, so then maybe this is like the side yard. All right, so this is, we'll say house. Okay, and then we'll say driveway. Okay, so intense. Intense, intense, intense. Let's get some raised beds in the backyard. You know, let's put some raised beds in the backyard. Okay, so start with some raised beds, just like you would grow all your other lettuces. So like if you already have a little bit of a green thumb and you already have some trees, some plants growing in your raised bed, don't hesitate to what's a tent? What's a tent? Oh, hey, Haley. Haley's asking us, what's a tent? Be more specific. What's a tent? I'm not sure. Intense. Maybe that's what she was asking. A tent is intense, intensely intense. We're gonna grow it super intense. That's kind of like what we call it in farming. So intense. So we're gonna grow it in a raised bed. So say you just had some raised beds back there, and it's one of the ways to get started to be able to make some profit off your trees, and you can grow them super close together. Okay, you can grow them very tiny, very close together, just like this in a raised bed. You could have it. You could have these raised beds either just raised up off the ground slightly like this, and you could have the trees growing out of the raised bed intensely, where they're only 6 inches apart. So we say 6 inches apart. Okay, and then also if you don't want to bend over, you could raise it up, and then you could have a raised bed off the ground, and you can also grow them intensely like that. Intense. Okay, wonderful. Thanks, Haley, for joining us. If you have any questions too, help us. And if we get stuck up on anything, really would love for you to just kind of chime in and say, hey, we have a few others that are also making comments for us. We're live on YouTube and also on the Moringa Growers Co-op Facebook group, everyone. So thank you for watching and joining and making sure that we're getting all this information out. This is helping us to formulate our training courses and all the things. And even just by talking about it every week, we might be saying the same thing sometimes, but sometimes this is the first time someone's watching and it really, really clicks for them. We know that we just kind of have to ingrain this into people because maybe they need to hear it 10 times before they actually make a raised bed and start growing it intensely, because they've just been like, oh, I want to join the co-op, but I don't know how to join the co-op. We just need to grow trees. In order to be in the co-op as a grower, we need you to make sure you have some trees. And that way you can help us provide us with a product, because we need to sell Moringa in order for all of us to really make a profit and get paid. So the more we have Moringa trees that have a high quality product, then that's how the co-op's going to be able to grow with your help. So we have a raised bed like this. Okay, so we can have a raised bed either right on the ground, or we can have a raised bed even off the ground like that. So that's one way to grow Moringa, is intense. That's a good way to get started. Then from there, you can harvest the tops, and that becomes a microgreen. Then from there, you can harvest the bottoms, the tuber. You can dry them, slice it, you can pickle it. Oh man, kimchi, horseradish, Moringa horseradish kimchi. Woo! Probiotic, I love that. And it's a very, very high quality product. Some people say that it's not advised to eat Moringa roots. It's true, after a certain time frame. I think it's after like a year, because then at that point they start getting a thick skin on them, and they start accumulating heavy metals in the root. It's a way for them to protect themselves from other bugs and pests, is to become something that bugs and pests can't eat, and it keeps it alive. But it's not advised for us to eat it either. But in the first 60 to 90, 180 days, it doesn't have that mineral, those toxic minerals accumulated from around. Everything. There's arsenic. There's remnants of glyphosate. There's remnants of heavy metals everywhere you go now, from just rain falling, and we can't escape it. But we can be safe in knowing that we're able to consume Moringa roots at a very young age, because they haven't accumulated the heavy metals in a toxic way. Our body naturally is flushing out heavy metals and toxins, because we're breathing it in every breath. I mean, there's aluminum in the air, there's boron in the air, there's all kinds of things in the air that our body helps to flush out with the help of Moringa. That's one way. That's how we want you to get started, so you can start making some money. You can take those microgreens, you can sell them in little like sprout bins, just like you find at the store. Moringa microgreens. That's a high quality product. And also Moringa tubers is a very high quality product. The Chinese slice the Moringa tubers up very thinly and chop it and use it also in teas. It's powdered and it's capsulated and it's also ingested. Yes. Wonderful. So that's one way. The next way to make money off of your Moringa trees is a hedge. A fedge. Let's call this a fedge. That's a fedge. And I know this is backwards, but if you need to see the same thing over on YouTube, we have the same thing over at YouTube where it's flipped. So a fedge row is a food hedge. And so we want you to take your border, and we want you to plant out your backyard with a hedge, a food hedge. Okay, so get your hedge going. Plant them every 3 to 6 feet. 3 to 6 feet, really. You can have them super close, and you can keep them short and bushy, and then you won't even be able to see through. It'll be a screen. Now, if you need it to be a screen that you don't see through all year, don't use Moringa as a hedge. Because in the wintertime here in Florida, in Tampa especially, and anywhere north of here, it'll lose all its greens and you'll still be able to see through it. We recommend if you need a screen, use bamboo. But as a food hedge in your backyard, do this every 3 to 6 feet. And that way you have a nice hedge. You saw Zenden. I went to Zenden last week. I planted that out over 5 years ago as a food hedge. And it is pumping out so many greens. It even's pumped out drumsticks. I mean, we've already harvested tons of drumsticks from those trees too. And they're nice. So like they're more like tall. And then we kind of keep them, we like split them out like at this point. And so like they'll probably like resprout like this, you know, but we just kind of trim them back here, trim them back here, trim them back here, and keep them kind of like at that kind of hand like this, where it has a nice stem and then it's got some bushes up top. Sometimes we might cut 2 or 3 back and they'll regrow. Sometimes we'll cut 2 or 3 back and then it'll regrow a bunch more. But we kind of try to keep it to like 3 to 4 fingers and not let it get too crowded, you know. And so we just always keep managing those bushies, hedges a little bit taller, a little bit more thinner, and a little bit more vertical versus how we do the bigger ones where we spread them out low from the bottom. And you can easily form so you can easily form the trees just by cutting them back. And Haley just asked, thank you, how do growers in the co-op know that they're growing to standard, to a high standard? This is a great question because we want everybody to grow Moringa at the highest standard as possible. So some of the things that you can do at home without us certifying you right away, because there's going to be steps and things that you can do right now that then once we come through and we come by, once we get everything together and we have all our paperwork together, we can easily certify it from your recording everything that you're doing, any kind of soils that you're using, any kind of organic fertilizers that you're using. One of the best ways is just to not use synthetic fertilizers. That's one way to make sure you're at the standard. Don't use anything that's chemicals. Making sure that you're not using reclaimed water. That's one of the main ways that a lot of people say, hey, I wanted to grow moringas in this property here. It's got a retention pond that we're going to water our trees from this retention pond. No, we can't do that because that retention pond is going to be having runoff, heavy metal runoff from cars, from other sources like your neighbor's backyard that might be sprayed with glyphosate, and then it's running off into your retention pond, and then you're watering with reclaimed water from your retention pond. We just that's a standard. And pest control. Okay, wonderful. So we'll get to these high standards. Reclaimed water is a big one. You don't want to water with reclaimed water, and we're going to be teaching everybody about these high standards and growing organically. As long as you're just using natural ingredients. Hey, it's been a month. The moringas that I planted are not growing. That's right. It could just be the time of year. And we just mentioned that just a few minutes ago. Someone's asking, why are they not growing right now? Why aren't my seeds sprouting right now? Why are my trees losing all their leaves right now? Is my tree dead? Like, what's going on? It's just the time of year. It's just because moringas are very subtropical, tropical trees. And that's the reason why they don't look good right now. It's the reason why you're only getting a 20% germination rate off your seeds right now. It's just because we need to wait until spring. We need to wait until the earth and the magnetic frequencies are ready for everything to start popping at the same time, because they're all going to be talking to each other saying it's ready to sprout. We got to get this thing going. But now everything is still kind of chilling. Everything is still really dormant. So thanks for asking. Okay. And Haley said pest control, and I want to make sure I get to the standards. That's right. They love the heat. They love a greenhouse. If you're having trouble sprouting your seeds, go to a greenhouse like we are. We're still sprouting them all year in the greenhouse. We've got them. Yeah, we're at maybe like a 30 to 40% germination rate, and we know we're going to have some loss. So they love the heat. So thanks. Everybody's commenting already, helping other people out that are commenting. Thanks, everybody, for just teaming up together. This is a co-op. Now we're becoming a co-op where other people who also are chiming in, have the answers, can help the people in this group right here that are just wanting to learn about Moringa. So I'm really happy that you're here and we're teaching everybody. So let's do standards and then pest control. So we'll do standards and then we'll do pests. Okay, so in order to have the high standard for us to be able to even have a relationship, to be able to harvest your trees, you just have to make sure you're organic, everything organic, no chemicals. Make sure that your soil is organic, making sure that you're purchasing organic soil, making sure that you're purchasing organic seeds, and also that you're not spraying chemicals on top of that, thinking that you need to, because you don't. As long as you have like worm castings and composted soil and you're composting your food scraps and you're using rainwater or filtered tap water, because tap water still has chemicals in it. So you do need a filter even on your hose. If you're going to be hosing the moringas down, or you have an irrigation system that's coming from the city, you still need to have a dechlorinizer, a defluoridizer. You need to have some salts that run through there, because there's going to be lots of anti-growth hormones in your city water that prevent moringa from growing, or any plants from growing. If you're wondering why, hey, I'm watering my plants, but they don't look that good, why aren't they growing that good? It's because it's coming from the city, and that city water has anti-growth, antibacterial, antifungal hormones and chemicals in that water that prevent your stuff from even growing and looking even good as it should. So especially since it's growing food, we want to make sure we're helping everyone set up these systems. Heck yeah, banana stems. Heck yeah, we got our permaculture buddy saying use banana stems to start sprouting your trees in, and also using as a way to put in your raised beds. You cut down the bananas, and that's a full water nutrient way to start your seedlings. That was great. That's definitely permaculture style right there. I love that. We're definitely doing that. I've seen people doing that in Asia. When I went to Cambodia and I saw all of them growing all of their veggies in banana stems. That's great. So, okay, so standards. Just if you need to know any further information about standards, I'm really glad that Haley asked that question. Just give us a call directly if you have any questions and you're concerned how to kind of mitigate even your neighbors if they're spraying and things like that. We have barriers that we can put up, flashings in the ground that we can put up, preventing any kind of chemicals from coming in, even into your yard. Like if you need to put a flashing in the ground over here to make sure that it's not getting any of the chemicals from your neighbor, we can do that, and we should do that, absolutely. Okay, and then pests. One of the ways to make sure you're mitigating and preparing for pests is by popping those tops off and using the greens, by cutting your trees back regularly so that way the pests that may be attracted to it don't actually live through the next season and they keep popping up. And by having a healthy immune system for the soil, and that tree has a healthy immune system by having healthy soil. The best way to prevent and control pests is to make sure that you have a healthy immune system. And our soil is good and healthy by what we're feeding it. So you just have to make sure that all the right nutrients and all the right minerals and all the right things that are in place, like worm castings and compost teas, are in that soil, so that way that when that tree gets hit with pests and things coming at it like bacteria and fungus, that it's easy able to say, man, I'm full. My immune system is, I got my pyramid up and I'm protected and nothing can hit me. And that's what I've seen trees. Even sometimes right next to each other, we'll have mulch on one tree and no mulch on another tree. And even sometimes just mulching a tree will help protect it more, help it keep its moisture levels up, things like that. should growers fertilize? Very good question. So hopefully that helps. Cut your trees back regularly. Pop your tops off regularly. Clean around. Don't let sticks stay on there. So I'll write this down. Fertilize. Fertilize. These are great ways to be able to make sure you're making more money from growing moringa in your backyard, because fertilizing is going to help make sure that your trees are flush and full and you have a nice quality product. So making sure to mitigate your pests is just by getting those trees cut back regularly, calling us up saying, hey, we need our trees harvested. Or we're getting a schedule down to where we're actually going to be calling you soon. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, sis. Oh, love you too. Thank you. I really appreciate you for watching. Everyone saying thank you, and all of this great information that's just come out. It's just flowing out. And I'm inspired by everyone that's watching that just wants to know more. And it's not just about moringa. All of these things that I'm teaching, they can be useful for other things. You know, they can be useful for other plants. And that's right. Great. So we've got someone saying, what do you use for fertilizer? Moringa. We actually use moringa for fertilizer. This right here, boom, feed your plants moringa tea. I regularly take the loose leaf and I make a huge batch of tea with it, and then I water my moringas with it because it's got all the vitamins and minerals that it needs. So sometimes moringa will pull up those nutrients. It's in the leaves and stuff, but it's sacrificing sometimes some of that for the leaves, so that way we can eat it for even its own root system, because it's trying to pump out, say, maybe a seed, so that way it can live on to the next generation. But one of the best ways to prevent pests from forming is to make sure you're fertilizing using moringa, using crushed up seeds, using crushed up leaves, composting moringa itself in a bin, letting that sit, adding other, maybe even just sand and things like that. Yeah, and yes, you should absolutely fertilize. Worm castings is the #1 way that I love to. Also with iron rock minerals. I get rock minerals from, like, say, Salt Lake City or other mines and things like that that have newbies. Yeah, they're just someone just saying that that for newbies, it's going to take a little bit of time to actually accumulate all this knowledge, because once you hit a point of time where at a scale where you kind of are in the know with kind of things, it all just comes naturally and it comes a little bit easier. But we're all learning. So I'm really glad that you're here. And one of the best ways to fertilize is, one, with moringa itself, using the greens that you're cutting off and the branches that you're cutting off. You can mulch those branches. You can break those branches down. You can put that on top. Oak mulch. Oak mulch is a very, very great way to fertilize. Just putting some oak mulch or some sort of mulch at the base of your moringa tree. Don't just let grass come all the way up to the edge of your tree. You want grass all the way back to as far as the tree is, because that's the root system is just as big. So as above, so below. Whatever you see up top is exactly what you see down below. And so you want to have a base around the tree that's fertilized with oak mulch. That helps the microorganisms, the grubs, because the grubs, not all grubs make it. They'll break down, and that'll be the magnesium, the protein, the phosphorus. Even when they pass away, they decompose into the soil and become more nutrient for the moringa. Worms. Worms. Make sure you're farming worms and you're collecting worms and you're getting worms in and around your area, making sure maybe even you create like a little worm bed around it, maybe lifting up a little bit, like with the flashing, like I was saying. If like this is the mound for the moringa and you plant the moringa on a mound, maybe get like a little flashing on the edge that goes all the way around, like a little plastic kind of like like bowl. So that way you can, it'll help keep the worms inside that little area for the trees. You can fertilize with urine. You can take a tablespoon of urine in a gallon jug of water, and that is a form of fertilizer. Our urine has minerals that we've expelled and can be used in a small amount, very small amount. Otherwise, you're going to burn them out. They're going to die. Very small, because all you need is a teaspoon to a tablespoon in a gallon of water. And then you can water your plants with that too. That's a cheap and free way to be able to fertilize your plants. Another organic way of fertilizing is chop and drop. So you cut your trees and you just drop them right there at the base as a way to get your fertile soil going. Any kind of green material that you can find out and about, like even grass cuttings, as long as you allow those grass cuttings to break down, you can put those also on top of your raised beds and anywhere where you want to grow to fertilize. Okay, wonderful. So let's just get through these couple ways of how you can continue to make some cash from growing moringa in your backyard. So we've got growing it in tents in raised beds. We've got it growing as a fedge in the backyard. Another way that I really love is growing moringa in a circle. I love growing moringa in a circle. So if you have a small area like this, what I've done in the past is I've made it like a keyhole garden where you can kind of walk in on one way, and then I dig out the center. So I'm digging out the center and I'm making a mound up top. So that way it's like a round raised up. This is kind of down and this is up. So it becomes like a mound all the way around. Almost like a donut. And I'll dig out the center. I'll mound up all the way around the edges. And I really love the circle method. The circle method of growing moringa trees. And that way you just kind of plant your moringa trees on your mound, on a mound there. And you just kind of have maybe a couple trees in the mound there. That's a really great way to just maybe do a corner. You know, you could even do the mound in a corner area. You could take a corner area, you could dig out the center, mound all the way up around it, and then start growing moringa trees around that too. That's one really great way that I love growing moringa, is in the circle method. Okay, and what other method do we have? I think for sure we had the orchard style method. So we've got the orchard style method, and there might be one more. Orchard. Okay, and we're gonna have all this information in our training manuals in the near future. We're just getting all the information together, making sure, so you're getting all this for free right now. And so making sure that you like this video for us. If you're getting some value out of this, please like this video. Please share it. Please subscribe. Let all your friends know about Moringa. And then just also comment for us. So really happy that you guys are joining us, getting some of this information. So if you want to get your moringa trees to drumstick, if you want to get the fruit out of your moringa trees, you want to do orchard. So then you want to come through and you want to go ahead and plant them every 10 to 15 feet. So you want to get your orchard going. Okay? So get your orchard where they're a little bit further apart. And you've got them every 15 feet. Okay? And so that's going to be 15 feet apart. And that's going to be one of the ways that you grow moringa in your backyard for profit. So that way you can actually get the fruit from the moringa and the drumsticks and the seeds. And then you can make oil from your seeds, which is going to be a high quality product that will help you and teach you how to be able to get that to market. Actually, we have some oil right here. Look at this. Oh yeah, that's our Moringa seed oil. We press that right here. We grow the trees. We had some permies come over here and they're like, really not really sure how we do this. They don't realize that I'm actually a wild forager. And we forage moringa. Of course, I planted all these trees, and I say, they're in the wild, but they're in people's backyards, they're on farmland, they're in protected areas, private properties, community gardens, schools that are growing food. We have several schools in the area that have a plot of moringa trees that's protected, no sprays, all organic, where they grow their kitchen because they're teaching the kids about how to grow moringa, or how to grow food. And they've called us. There's several companies and nonprofits that we have partnerships with where our moringa trees are growing at their community gardens. I would also like to add that by growing trees in this co-op, or any co-op, helps our environment tremendously. Exactly. Thank you so much, Shirley. And what's the best growing method for someone with a smaller yard size than this? The best method for you is to start probably in a small yard. You could either have them intense in this method here, where you just need a small space, and you could grow hundreds of moringa trees in a very small space, in the raised bed method, in the intensive raised bed method. And also a hedge. Just get a couple of them really close together. Another really great way of doing it is doing all of these, one of these things, either or one of these things. So by doing the circle method, if you only have a small space like this much and you can really only do a small little area in your yard, then do the circle method. That's really the best way. And even just by starting by putting one or maybe three together in a pyramid, you know, maybe get three in a pyramid, and that would be really great. I love growing moringa in a pyramid like this, and I'll put one here, I'll put one here, and then I usually put a chair. I put a chair in the middle, and I sit there and I meditate in the middle of my triangle, my trifecta. That's a great way to grow moringa. So we've got the orchard, we've got the circle, we've got the fedge, we've got the intense. And I know there's one more I'm probably forgetting. But for today's purposes, those are all really great ways for you to be able to start making some cash right away. I started growing moringa on other people's properties in 2014, 2015. And by 2016, so within 1 year, I had enough material that I was harvesting, drying, and packaging, and going to the farmer's market. And I was meeting people that had green moringas in their backyard already. I was meeting people that had never seen moringa. And the first year that I started, I think I made about $7,000 or $8,000 from moringa. That first year, I was like, wow, this is amazing, you know. So I made about, you know, maybe $500, $600, maybe $700 a month off of moringa just to start, just by going to maybe 4 to 5 farmers markets a month, and that helped me. That helped me a lot. Then as I developed, I got my website going. I made partners with stores around the neighborhood and other marketeers at the farmers market. If you go to the farmers market and they're making things and they want to add moringa to their products, you can easily, as long as you're providing organic moringa and it's high quality and it looks really good and it smells good and it is good, there's no mold, there's no bacteria on it, you're drying it super fast, you're not cooking it, but you're air drying it in a dehumidifying room or possibly in a dehumidifier, but that's where the color changes. The reason why we have green and others don't is because they're accidentally cooking it at a higher temperature than they should be, and it's oxidizing and it's turning brown, and it may not be as nutritious. So one of the best ways to make money by growing moringa in your backyard is just to get started. And if you don't have enough moringa in your backyard just yet, and you're getting started now and you want to get your business started now, that's where you become a vendor for the co-op and you become a salesperson for the co-op and you start selling moringa. In the meantime, you're getting your moringa operation going. And then by the time your moringa trees in your backyard are starting to get mature and you can supply your own from your own supply, then you may not even need to be purchasing any more moringa from the co-op. But at least in the meantime, you'll be able to start breaking down moringa in smaller packages, and you'll be able to start selling to your friends, your family, and your brand new customers just by purchasing moringa through us first. And that's one of the best ways to start forming a relationship with us, letting us know that you're serious. We're getting comments all the time, emails, and we're getting them into the right place, wherever they need to go, whether people are interested in getting property in Florida, are living somewhere else and are moving to Florida, or they already have property in Florida, we're keeping in touch with everyone that is in need of our help and assistance in getting their operations going, so that way we can have more Moringa farmers in Florida, and that way we can supply the world. I mean, at least we can supply the states, and we can supply Floridians, and we can supply our neighbors with fresh food, especially if the market shut down again. If everything shuts down again, at least we'll know that there's going to be more people that are able to eat from moringa in their backyard. So right now in bulk, please go to moringagrowerscoop.org. We have everything in bulk, everything that you need in a bulk size at the co-op website. That helps us out the most. Get you your bulk items at a very, very cheap price. And then you can bag it up. So like with the special, I mean, usually this is $100 by itself, and even at $100 by itself, this kilo of powder can be broken down into smaller baggies, and this $100 kilo could make you $500. When I go to the farmer's market, I make $500 from a kilo, because I sell these in 10-gram baggies out the door all day. Buy two, get one free. $5 each, $5 each. Buy two, get one free. I'm making $400 to $500 off of 1 kilo. But right now, we have this special where you can get a kilo of powder, a kilo of loose leaf, and also 1,000 capsules for $1.99. So it's $300 off, and it's only for a limited time. I think we're only going to be running this sale to the end of the month. This is what I was told. So hop on now, get that together now. Thanks, Haley, for joining us. And I'd like to wish everybody a happy Saturday. I hope this was informative. Thank you for continuing to watch and learn. I know sometimes it might be a little redundant for those members and people that have been just kind of tuning in with us over the past year, 2 years, 3 years. But I promise you there's more and more people that need this information, and I still need to be getting this out every week. And you bet, I'm really glad to help everyone. We've got tons of comments and people. Actually, what I learned is this means war. I'm sorry, this is separation. They're divided. So I'm going to start doing this. I'm learning that this is actually the symbol for peace, the real symbol for peace. So this is together, this is unity. This is a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or just people, and we're together. So I love you guys, we're together. Peace, love, prosperous growing. Give me a call if you need to reach me anytime. My pleasure. It's 813-690-6516, or text me 813-567-3100. I'm getting more information, what everybody needs. I'm helping everybody out, get the information that they need to get going, get their business going, start making money from just moringa in your backyard. Go to the farmer's market with a tent and a table. Little bee was flying by. With a tent and a table. Yes, you know, it would be nice if you had a business license. It would be nice if you had insurance. It would be nice if you had all the proper permitting for having a plant nursery, or for having a food and beverage certifications. Get all those things. Yes, we want you to get all those things. But first, you just need to learn how to get it going. Can you grow moringa? The question is, can you? Because we get that question all the time. You know, can we grow it like this? Can we grow it this? You can. But can you? So we'd like to see you and want to help you get this going, get this operation off the ground. It's a great way. It's supported me over the last couple years. I've probably made maybe close to $250, almost $300,000 over the past 5 years on moringa alone. And my goal by the end of this year is to make that $1 million. And I want to be able to show people how they can become millionaires off of just by growing moringa. Now, you may not be able to do that on your own backyard, but with the help of the co-op and with the help of teaming up with other neighbors and other people that have unused land, you get creative and you say, wait, I can make $1 million off moringa. I just need to get a little bit more land. We've got people right now that are hearing that right now. They're already about to sell their house and move to Florida and get this moringa operation going, because I know it's happening. They're like, Kendrick, we want to live by you. We want to make sure that we're close by to the co-op. So we're getting this neighborhood community of moringa growers. We just had several customers come in this week that were like, Kendrick, we love your operation. We moved over here a year ago. We heard you were in the area, and we've been wanting to stop by. We're in the neighborhood. We're close by. We want to get 100 trees from you, and we want to get in the co-op, and we want to get our operation going, because we're retiring. We want to make some money, some passive income off of our land, and we want to use moringa to help bring that to us because of all the benefits and all the things that it brings and all the things that they've heard and what it's also done for themselves and their bodies. So it's done wonders for me, and I know it can do wonders for you. Just keep drinking the tea. You know, take a few capsules a day, maybe 1 to 2 capsules a day. Of course, as recommended by your healthcare physician. I'm not a doctor. Disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm an architect. And I just need you to start in small amounts and feel it out and then increase it over time and let us know how you feel, what it does for you. But hopefully talk to your doctor first if you're on any medications, you're concerned with your blood sugar, blood pressures. This can help regulate it, but if you're already on medication that is regulating it and you go with outside of the boundaries of your medication because the chemical reaction doesn't allow you to say necessarily get completely cured or better faster because of the medication's programming, then you want to talk to your doctor. And I've had several hundred people tell me that they spoke to their physician first. They got on a regimen with Moringa and their medication, and they were able to slowly decrease the amount of medications they were taking just because they started incorporating Moringa in their diet. And it helps with regulating blood sugar, it can regulate blood pressure, and it can provide all the healthy minerals and vitamins that your body needs to get a stronger immune system. I'm really happy to help. I love you guys. Peace, love, and prosperous growing. I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Ciao.